Recording started.
For more information, email title1@cps.edu or reach out to Norma Celadon at nceladon@cps.edu or 773-255-9623. To register for future sessions, go to bit.ly/faceparent. And we hope that you can tell us how you liked this session by going to tinyurl.com/face-to-face survey. Good afternoon and welcome to the face-to-face virtual classroom. Our sessions are designed with you in mind to support your child's learning and to offer a variety of programs that help to build your knowledge and growth in various topics. We offer weekly classes which are hosted live, recorded, and then uploaded to our CPS YouTube channel for future reference. We hope you enjoy today's session entitled Read Up to Build Up, Building a Reading Community, which will focus on how math can help in reading. This is the fourth part of a 5-part series. Be sure to check out parts 1 through 3 on our YouTube channel. For more information on future programming, as said before, please email title1@cps.edu or Ms. Celadon with the information provided at the front of this video. Now, we hope that you enjoyed today's session. Please allow me to welcome today's presenter, Ms. Lemiola Arincatola. She is an award-winning educator and author and the founder of the Critical Thinking Child and Educational Consulting and Tutoring Company. She is passionate about giving parents the tools needed to help their children succeed academically. She provides in-person and virtual workshops using proven frameworks that foster academic achievement and critical thinking skills, while also encouraging confidence, family time, and fun. You will walk away with actionable next steps for at-home learning support. I present to you Ms. Lemiola Arincatola, your presenter, Lemiola Arincatola.
All right. Thank you, Carol. All right. Thank you. What a wonderful introduction. And it's so glad to be back. This is our 4th series consecutively, 4 out of 5. And today is going to be fabulous. We've got lots of engaging activities for those of you that have children, all the way from young children in kindergarten, all the way up to those that are teens and in high school. This will be activities that will have a range of opportunities for children of all ages that can participate. All right, so without further ado, we can go ahead and get started. I will share my slides. Okay, we will try that again. Always loving the technology, aren't we? Okay, so, all right, so today's session is, wait, what? How math strategies can help kids and their parents who struggle in reading. All right, so let's get started. Let's dive right into it. So what we want to do today is share with you some of the tools and tips that I actually use with my students who may not have a love for reading, but really appreciate math. You know how you have a child who may be higher in math and then struggling on reading, and it can actually be the reverse too. We may have students that love reading and then have a challenge on math. So either way, this would be fun activities because we actually marry the two together. Wait till you see what's coming up. So how do we get started? If your child knows their ABCs and their 1, 2, 3s, they can play this game. Okay, so this first game is about just something as simple as knowing your ABCs and 1, 2, 3. All right, so game number one is what I call solve the code. How do we play this game? Well, first, we line up the alphabet. So as you can see here, we've got the alphabet from letters A to Z. There's 26 letters in the alphabet. Each letter is assigned a number. We assign a number to each letter of the alphabet. Then what we do is we take either their vocabulary words or their spelling words or just, any type of interesting literature that you would like to reinforce. So this could actually be an author's name. It could be the title of a book. I want you to really use your imagination when you create yours at home. But right now, how you would solve the code is you'd have the alphabet sequence here. All right. And then the numbers below in red is actually what they have to decode. So each one of those numbers represents a letter. So for example, the number 23 is the letter W. Okay. So they're not going to be able to solve it if you don't give them the key. So it's very important that they have the key. So for those of you parents who are on right now, take a few moments, solve this code. And for those of you that are catching the replay, go ahead and pause the recording to give yourself ample opportunity to solve the code. Okay. And so as we're waiting for that to be solved, I just want to let you know that this particular game is so flexible. You can take your child's favorite book. You can take their, first few words out of the dictionary, the children's dictionary. The sky is the limit with this. So you can even use Latin and Greek root words. Okay. We call this solve the code. All right. So let's see. What is your answer? Go ahead and put that into the chat and we'll check those out. I see answers coming in. Yes, that's it. So we see the answer. If you're playing at home, this is the answer. What time is it? Yay, yay, what time is it? So that was just a simple statement. But like I said, I've used this same technique with children to help them master their vocabulary, to help them, get excited about a book title. The sky's the limit. So that's one strategy. We've got lots more planned today, but that's something you can certainly hack, you can certainly adopt, and it doesn't even take a whole lot of resources to have this fun. Okay, now the next one. If you like riddles, and who doesn't like riddles, puzzles? I'm like a puzzle master, love riddles and puzzles. You can play this game. Okay, so do you ever remember these riddles when you would have to guess, who am I? Who am I? Let's look at an example. See if you can guess this. My name is the same as my color. My name is the same as my color. Who am I? Okay. I am also round and a fruit. I am also round and a fruit. Who am I? Go ahead and put your answer into the chat. Those of you at home, pause the video and think if you need to. So we're about to do the big reveal. What is the answer? An orange, yes. Good job. So we want to make sure we give enough clues, but not too much where we take away that element of thinking. So you remember this game, who am I? Here's another one. I am an animal. I have 4 legs. My name rhymes with box. All right, let's check the chat out and see. You guys remember this game, always a lot of fun. We're going to add a little twist to it. Those that are responding in the chat, they're getting the answer right. Indeed. The answer is a fox. Okay. So now that we have refreshed our memory on the Who Am I game, now we're going to add that little element of twist to it. Now, how do we add the math? Well, game number 2 is what number am I? Okay, so similar to the Who Am I game, but what number am I? All right, let's begin. This one's going to take some doing. So I suggest if you don't already have a sheet of paper and a pencil, go ahead, pause, grab those tools. You're going to need it unless you're really good at doing mental math. If you've got some, third grade, fourth grade, fifth graders, and even those that are in high school, bring them on, bring them to the screen and see who can solve these riddles the fastest. That's what we love to do. We love to make it a group event. So here's your first clue. Both digits, so there are 2 digits, because we're using that keyword both. Both digits in the number are greater than 5. Okay. Next clue. The number is odd. The number is odd. You see how we're using words for math. The digit in the tens place is smaller. So we got 2 places for our place value, right? Because if we got 2 digits, we know we got ones and we got the tens. So the digit in the tens place is smaller. Another clue, the sum of the digit is greater than 15. The sum of the digit is greater than 15. So when we add the 2 digits together, we're going to get a value greater than 15. Yeah, put your thinking caps on. Okay, another clue. The sum of the digits is an even number. So how does this help with reading? Let's pause for a minute and talk about that, because we're doing a lot of math, but we are also doing reading. Some of the children need support with math vocabulary. That's what we call it, math vocabulary. So when we use words like sum, S-U-M, or digits, and the word even, these are vocabulary words that we want them to be fluid and very familiar with, so that they can solve math word problems. Okay, what is your answer? If you got 79, you are just fine, because 79 is the right answer. So that was a multi-step. So certainly you probably want to entertain that for students who have a certain operational skill. Okay, you can reduce the number of clues for the younger students. That's what I would do. But I have used this type of question for students that are in 3rd grade and up, and they have just truly enjoyed it. Okay, let's look at another one. What number am I? This number has 2 digits. The number is not odd. Now, here's something interesting. The number does not contain 0. The number does not contain 0. And the final digit is not greater than the 2nd digit. See how they have to really think about this statement? The final digit is not greater than the 2nd digit. So this is great. We really allow the students to put their thinking caps on. Now, the final digit is not smaller than the second digit. And the sum of the digit is greater than 5, but less than 10. So when we add them together, that's greater than 5 and less than 10. So that's somewhere between 6 and 9. So only so many digits you can add together that's going to give you that range. What's your answer? Go ahead, put that into the chat. See what we're getting here. Those of you at home, get ready to check your answers. 44. 44. So 44, 4 plus 4 is 8. That's within that range between 5 and 10. Okay, so we've showed you 2 fabulous games. Trust me, they work. The kids have a wonderful time playing with them. The parents do too. And the great thing about it is that, you know, many of the children, when they engage in activities like this, it doesn't become a chore, right? And they are working on their reading skills. You can do the solve the code. You can also do the who am I? And they're actually working on their word problems. So a good portion of math includes word problems where they have to read through a particular scenario. It's not just all numbers and symbols, okay? So it's important for them to get familiar with the language of math, as we call it. So the third game is one that's really going to present a lot of the vocabulary that we have found in our research that many of the students, even very bright students who are really good in math, maybe very fast at doing the math operation, maybe the multiplication, etc. And perhaps maybe they don't like to read the word problems, right? So maybe because they might be a struggling reader, or maybe they're not finding reading enjoyable. This is one of the reasons why we want to fuse in the math and the reading together, because oftentimes we find that students prefer one or the other, okay? So when we marry those skills together, we're creating such a happy harmony for learning for the students. And with our number walk game, which is one of my favorites, we're able to take the vocabulary words that you're about to see and really have the students understand from a critical thinking standpoint what those vocabulary words mean in relationship to math, and just really understanding and comprehending how to apply those words inside of a real life word problem or mathematical problem, okay? So we call this game number walk. And one of the reasons, I'm just gonna move this over, make sure you guys can see everything on the screen. One of the reasons we call this number walk, we start off with our very basic 100 chart. Okay, many students get introduced to the 100 chart at around first grade. So this is something that's very common and is introduced very early, which is great. So they get familiar with the lineup of the 100 chart. You see, we've got our multiples of tens, our decades here, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. They can also do their skip counting by twos, and definitely their skip counting by fives. And for that matter, skip counting in any sequence that may not be as routine. So that's why we love the 100 chart. So make sure that if you need to screenshot this, if you're playing along right now, screenshot a picture of the 100 chart so that you'll have it in front of you. We're going to start at a number. We're going to start at number 16, and then we're going to give you a series of commands, okay? So make sure you take a picture of this so you can follow along, and we'll get started. So our starting point is number 16. We should all start at the same spot. Now, here's the first command, add 5. Now, usually that is a no-brainer for many who would understand what add means. Okay, so you just want to check the vocabulary for the student. So they're taking that 16 and they're adding 5. And they should land at 21. So we're moving from 16 to 21. And I just want to say that we've presented this type of exercise to traditional and gifted students. And some of them are really challenged by just following the orientation of the sequence and the commands, which you'll see in a minute that it can get a little tricky. So now we're going to add 3 more. Okay, so 3 more from your 21 plus 10. So if they're just starting out, it's okay for them to use paper. That's not a problem whatsoever. And then if you want to challenge the older students, I would say let them sort of do it mentally. Okay, mental math is great, but they can start off by using paper. Minus 5. Now, I have to tell you, I'm going to pause right here because students typically under 3rd grade, some of them are not familiar with this term minus. So we have to educate them on that. So do not assume because they have seen the minus symbol that they understand the actual words and letters that, make up the word minus. Okay, so you have to maybe give them some synonyms because they may ask, well, I don't know what minus means. Take away, subtraction. So this is an opportunity to educate them. Oops. There we go, minus 5. It's an opportunity to educate them on the terminology. Okay, so you should have landed on 29. Yay, looks like most of you did. You're following along. Excellent. Keep going. Plus 7. So you're taking that last number and you're adding 7 to it. Take away 3. What's very interesting, if you have the number chart in front of you, many of you are probably just doing it mentally, but for the younger kids, when you put the number chart in front of them, it's very interesting because when they're at a particular number, this is what we've seen in the research. Takeaway. Sometimes they get confused. Do I go left or do I go right? What position, what orientation should I be practicing? So you should land at number 33 if you're keeping up. And I hope you are. 10 less. And all of these, we took some of the most trickiest vocabulary terms in math, and they are infused into this number walk game. Okay, 10 less. Take away 2 more. And being able to just hold that number, do the math correctly with mostly words. Mostly words. Subtract 5. And the very interesting thing about it is that if there's a mistake made early on, then you know that it's sort of a domino effect. So it also reinforces to our students that you got to double check your work, because if you make a mistake very early on, it can really impact, the results and obviously lead to the wrong answer. So every step of the way is important. So what is the answer that you're getting at home? What is the answer you're getting in the chat? 16. We start where we ended up, 16. And I see those that are participating. Oh, we must have some really bright people here that are really good in math and reading. Okay, So got a couple of people that got the right answer. Good job. Okay, so that's how we do the number walk. Let's try another one. So if you didn't get it the first time, we're going to do another example. Start at 37. And you could pick any number if you're making your own number walk at home and set your different commands. But we're going to start at 37. Add 40. Don't be afraid to add larger numbers. 3 more. And notice how I'm just saying 3 more. I'm not adding any additional words to it. I'm not adding a plus symbol. 3 more. I want them to understand the terminology. Plus 10. Okay. Minus 15. Minus 15. Give you a moment to calculate that. If you find that we're going too fast for you, no worries. Just go ahead and pause the video if you're catching the replay and go at your own comfortable pace. Plus 12. Take away 8. Now let's check in. Sometimes it's good for especially when they're first doing the number walk before they get used to it. I like to check in halfway through before they get all the way to the end, just to make sure that they're understanding the command. A lot of kids, you may see that their number chart, they start writing on it and they lose their place when they're going back and forth and so forth. So it's good to just kind of check in and help them out as needed. So right now, you should be at number 79. Number 79. Okay, now we've got 30 less. Go ahead and take away 2 more. Okay, subtract 25. Increase by 9. And you know, I'm gonna just point out this is one of the top 3 words that many of the students, they get stuck on. And they'll say, what do you mean increase? What does that mean, increase? Because they know that they're doing math, but then they are reading words as well, and they haven't used this vocabulary yet in their mathematical understanding and learning. So increase 9 is one where a lot of kids just get stuck. And so then you could just tell them what increase means as well as decrease so that they can start to learn new vocabulary. So don't be surprised if they get a little stuck here. It's very common. Minus 22. What is your answer? 9. They should end at 9. Okay. And you know, the other thing is you can, for those that are like maybe struggling with the executive functioning skills, and they're like, okay, if they're independent readers, they can read the commands on their own. because you'll have the commands as well as the 100 chart to the side. Or if you're going to read it orally, you might want to give them perhaps some other tools, like sometimes the kids will like different color pencils to help them distinguish between the numbers and the movement on the number walk. We have found that to be incredibly fun. We've also found highlighters of different assorted colors to be incredibly useful in this type of exercise. So feel free to change it up, make it playful, give them the tools that they need. Many times when we're practicing our reading skills, we are reading it aloud, but we're also having them follow along with the written vocabulary. So we'll do the first one together. Typically, when I'm working with students, I'll do the first one with them, get them comfortable with the vocabulary, see where they might get stuck. And then after a while, I will then start to give them their own, fun sheet so that they can read and try to solve these independently. And we're going to show you what a full one looks like after we try one more. All right, so starting at 9 this time. By now, you can see that the skills are getting better, right? So the kids that are participating at home, they're probably super excited now. They've done maybe 2 sample ones with you, and they may be saying, okay, let me try to do this one by myself with no help. Go ahead and give them that opportunity. So kids at home, I'm rooting for you. I know you can do it. So let's start at the number 9. And what we have here are all the various commands. So I'm gonna give you some minutes to figure this out. We're trying to get to the treasure number. That's what we call it with our number walk. So you would follow the commands from top to bottom, and come up with a final answer. So it's similar to what we did, but you're seeing all the commands at once. So if you need to go ahead, we're gonna give some time here to do it, but if you find you need more time, you could just certainly pause the video as needed. Okay, so at this time, go ahead and give it a try. Okay, just a few more minutes. It's always good to double check your answers, have the students go back. Those that have found the treasure number, go back and check every step of the way. You notice we've added a few more commands you haven't seen before. 3 to the left, 4 to the right. Keeping up with that orientation. And then also paying attention to how the students are moving along the number path. Are they counting one by one? Or are they actually seeing the patterns in the skip counting? So this is a wonderful opportunity for them to stretch their mathematical thinking skills as well, by actually identifying quick ways to move across the number path without going one by one by one. Okay, one more minute. Looks like our parents that are participating live are doing well in the chat, responding well. Okay. All right, so at this time, we'll move forward and we are about to reveal the treasure number. The other piece is I like to put these circle bubbles because we'll find that students will sometimes lose their place, especially if they're not familiar with this multi-step activity. So we may have them circle in the actual commands that they have completed, just to check them off or something. You'd be surprised. It looks easy for us as an adult, but trust me, I've worked with so many students and, you know, this is a challenge for many the very first time that they're introduced to this. Try it at home. Let us know your feedback on it. But I will say, don't be discouraged if at first it's a little bit, you know, awkward for them. We are asking them to multifunction, executive functioning, do math and do reading. So it is a lot, but after a while, they'll be asking for the next exercise, okay? So don't give up. All right, so what is your number? 78. 78. So we are moving along here, along the number walk from where we started and then ending up on 78. Okay, so here's one more to try, a little bit more sophisticated, longer, if we can compare. For those students, I'm just gonna back up a bit. So as you can see, you really can determine how many commands that you would like to use for each student. And I see some comments coming in right now, but you know, so maybe for kindergartners to third grade, I may have maybe 4 commands until they get more comfortable with it. And then as they become more comfortable with it, I may just move on and maybe add another 3 more commands there, you know, that type of thing, and gradually build up. So I want you to know, you don't have to start with all the commands at once, okay? It is something that just, you know, getting them familiar with the vocabulary, you know, 3 to the left, you know, when it's on the abstract paper, right? And going to the right, they're like, well, where's my left? Where's my right? You know, this direction is left and this direction is right when we're talking about the abstract form, okay? So we really want them to kind of learn the maneuvers, learn the skills. So don't feel that, oh my gosh, this is going to be way too much for my child, you know, in third grade or fourth grade or whatever grade. You can abbreviate it, okay? So that's something you could do. You can abbreviate that. And then as their mathematical skills improve and they're doing more challenging work in school and they're getting more word problems, you can certainly infuse those word problems into the number walk, okay? The sky is the limit for this game, let me tell you. All right, so our very last one, we've got time for one more. And here, I just wanted to show you, because we have students coming in from all different age groups. And I just wanted to show you how you can make it more robust. And just really having them follow the steps, because oftentimes along the way, there's a mistake that is often made that they may actually miss. So I'll give you a few minutes to work this out. Okay, just one more minute. Give you a chance to double check. Okay, I like it when the kids have their like two different color coding. So we got the first one start at 16. They've got that start. Okay, and adding 5. And you may have them actually circle it, use different colors. And then this is what I mean by just, making sure that they have, completed those steps. And then 3 more. And then plus 10. Now here is where we have students that'll just go 1, 2, 3, 4, and just, but 10 on the 100 chart just drop down. Okay. So you do want to point out those important strategies for them. Now, the younger kids may need to count one by one because they're still counting. So meet them where they're at, -5. And some of them can just go from 34, jump, subtract in their head, and go straight to 29. And then, +7. Well, we just did the -5. Do they realize that they're back at 5 and then 2 more here? Like that realization, you want to have that conversation with them, taking away 3 and 10 less. Okay, now, are they jumping up? I'm going to change the color for this back to the 23, or are they counting one by one backwards? And it's okay. I have students that will count backwards until they start to see the pattern that's within the numbers here. Okay, so we won't do them all, but that's sort of like how we just kind of make sure they stay on track, and give them, plenty of time to complete this, somewhere between 5 to 8 minutes, depending on their mathematical skills. But the chart is very helpful. Again, if you have students that are older, you can do away with the 100 chart and just give them the mental math, which is really, really cool. Okay. All right, so I'm going to clean this up and we're going to reveal our answer. 52. So if you got 52 at the treasure, awesome. Okay, lots of activity here, lots of focus and attention. The room gets very quiet when I have students that are doing this activity. If you want to see, students that get laser focused on the activities, this is the one, because they'll be paying attention every step of the way until they are done. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the 3 activities that we shared with you. We use this to get kids excited about reading and excited about math as well. And we also use these games to show them how reading and math go together, because math is not just going to be nothing but number symbols. It's also going to include our word problems and math vocabulary, which is very important for them to really grasp at an early age. And so showing that in a very fun, playful way really gets them super excited. So if you're looking for more activities, you can visit our shop at thecriticalthinkingchild.com/shop. And you'll find a whole slew of different tools, learning tools, digital downloadables, of easy to use games that you can implement immediately and just really engage your child at home and have a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoyed what we've shared with you in this series today. It's been so exciting. This is 4 out of 5. We've done consecutive parent workshops, each one just bringing something new and fresh to your attention. All of those have been recorded. So if you've missed any of our sessions, as was stated at the beginning of the program, you can always catch the replay. So definitely do that. And at this time, we do have some parents that have joined us. And so we're going to open up the floor and answer their questions. For those of you that are catching the replay, we will see you again. Hope you can catch us live. The next one will be in April, right, Carol?
Yes, and we look forward to it. This is great. Next week is spring break, so we'll be off 1 week, but then we'll right back at it. These are a treat. I'm sorry you have missed the live recording. However, it's not too late to get that last one. And definitely join Miss Erin Tola and her workmates at the Critical Thinking Child. Forgive me, drew a blank right there. We hope you've enjoyed today's class entitled Read Up to Build Up. Our classes are recorded and can be found on our YouTube channel at tinyurl.com/face2YouTube. And again, the link will be shared in the chat section. Please visit our website at cpsparentu.org for more information on our virtual programming. And we'd love for you to follow us on social media at CPS Parent U on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Again, we thank Ms. Lemiola Erica Tola for all of her wisdom and all of her help.
My pleasure.
My babies and our bambinos. We're grateful. We're grateful. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, everyone. I'll stick around and take some questions. I see some popping in. And thank you. Enjoy the rest of your week. Bye for now.